So back to the Dillon KSI fight, where I'm excited for this, but not really excited in terms of I don't have that will KSI lose feeling. I think that that's a bit of a mistake on the part of the promotion. However, I understand that, it is a step up from Swarms and Pineda.
Yeah, of course.
So, okay, we've stepped up and I give them credit for that. I think the only danger I see in this fight personally is if KSI doesn't look good. That's the danger here. And you've pointed out, I think on one of your videos, if I'm right in thinking, that there is a danger of that because of Dillon's awkwardness and his background.
Yeah. Anytime you fight a guy, and I'll say this, the promotion getting Dillon, again, I think they were put in a bad spot because of what happened to Logan. Logan was going to fight Dillon. This was 100% going to be the fight.
Yeah.
And when that fell out, you have, again, guys like T. Wood probably, and I can't confirm this, but probably asking for a number that they can't justify without a Logan Paul on the card. So contracts and things like that. But when you do have Dillon, I think there's a threat of a couple things. Yes, there's a threat of him making KSI look less than he is, right? Less than he can look against a professional boxer or someone that's more polished. And that's because Dillon is going to be, like you said, awkward. He's going to be able to, I assume, in certain exchanges, in clinches, do things that KSI is not used to, right? Even if KSI is at shoot fighters, Dillon just has a mastery of grappling position. This is the same thing, and I know I said it in the Ben Askren fight with Jake, but this is the same thing that you would suspect a jiu-jitsu grappling guy to do when he comes into boxing. Close range with some wild shit, punches that don't look great, but the point is not to make those punches look great. It's to close distance, to get to the places where he's comfortable. That's the danger in fighting a guy like Dillon. KSI gets tied up. It becomes one of those fights where the crowd's booing. Things don't necessarily look as flashy that you want him to see. And if he doesn't, that is where, even if with a win, that is where we leave ourselves going, well, did we really learn anything? Again, that's the hard part.
Yeah, Dillon is not on the level of a Tyron Woodley. So I don't think KSI can afford... Fight. It's the Ben Askren fight. And for that reason, JJ, and I'm sure he will, hold himself to the standards of what Jake did to Ben Askren. It's got to be a quick annihilation in there. And I think from what I've seen of Dillon's pad work and his limited boxing that I've watched, very little power. It would be my first comment. I don't think he's got enough to push JJ back. I think JJ will be walking him down quite quickly and probably doing that smiling and clowning while he's slapping him up. But there needs to be like a seriousness, I think, like a viciousness where it's, I've got to make a statement and get you out of here, because so far, the Logan fights were very difficult for obvious reasons. It's Logan, and Logan's a difficult challenge. But in Pineda and Swarms, because those guys were so shit, it was hard to look good against them. We need a good, clean finish, and we need something where we can hold that up and go, he's on the right path. That's what we want to see. If we don't get a devastating finish where it looks clean, then I think JJ will feel like he's failed himself in that moment.
Yeah, and that's the thing that I think everyone, including JJ, knows. Like, he knows this is that one where he has to make a statement. And if that statement isn't made, we're just going to still sit here and go, oh, man, like, what? How do we get this Jake and KSI fight? Because that's the one everyone wants. How do we get to that? Because we don't know. Not that even that JJ is not ready, whatever. We just don't know. If we can't see, we don't know. And this is why I picked Ben against Jake, because I didn't know. We hadn't seen what we had gotten from Jake until that moment where we're like, oh, this is what he is.
Yeah.
JJ needs the same type of performance. And when you talked about him coming forward, I'll caution people that are going to watch this fight with, it needs to be composed. JJ has to be a composed killer in there, not emotional, not letting the windmills fly, whatever it is. This needs to be composed, slick, confident, just like we've seen from Jake as he's progressed. As he's gotten better, the boxing's gotten tighter. JJ needs to do that, because walking forward on a grappler, if you miss one of those big bangs, he's going to wrap you up, double underhooks, and you're going to tussle for about 30 seconds till the referee stops it. That's what's going to happen if he's not composed.
Even though Swarms and Pineda were no real threat, and I get JJ could get relaxed and he could throw the game plan out the window because he knew I'm way better than these guys. But boxing friends of mine watched that and said, look, we get that he's not, treating them with the respect that he should be, and try, but what we've seen was still a little bit on the rough and sloppier side than what you'd want it to be. And that's what I'm talking about with this fight is it needs to be taken super seriously. Even if you're way better than Dillion, that's irrelevant. It's you're making him a statement out with this guy so that it's believable that you are on the level of Jake and that we're seeing that progress.
That's the thing is JJ's not fighting opponents anymore. He's fighting whatever the progression is to Jake. Yeah. Right. That's what it is. Like the opponents are irrelevant. You have to go in and perform in a way that makes us believe that you're ready for Jake. And that's not, that sucks for him, to be honest. That really sucks because he can't just go in and win a fight and be proud of it. Like Jake already made this path. He can't even go in and win and be like, yeah, look what I did. I'm evolving. He now has to go and fight what Jake did to get to where Jake's at. That's the hard part.